Let's talk about the one and only Cafu, the king of right-backs and a player who revolutionized how the position is played. When you think of attacking full-backs today, darting up and down the flanks, contributing in both defense and offense, you've got to tip your hat to Cafu. This guy wasn't just a defender, he was a machine with limitless energy, a true footballing legend whose career spanned decades, and he's still revered for setting the gold standard for modern fullbacks. It's insane to think about the consistency he brought to the game for over 20 years. How many players can say they reached 3 consecutive World Cup finals and won 2 of them? Yeah, that's Cafu. But let's rewind a bit to understand how Cafu went from a skinny kid playing in the streets of São Paulo to captaining Brazil on the biggest stages. Coming from a humble background, Cafu's story is one of resilience. He wasn't immediately spotted as a football prodigy. In fact, he was rejected by several clubs as a youngster. But that didn't stop him. He got his big break at São Paulo FC, and once he made it to the first team, the football world couldn't ignore his talent. His versatility and tenacity were evident from the start. Playing under legendary coach Tele Santana, Cafu became a key part of the São Paulo team that won 2 Copa Libertadores titles in the early 90s. What really makes Cafu's career legendary, though, is his impact on the international stage. In 1994, he was part of the Brazilian squad that won the World Cup in the United States. Cafu wasn't a guaranteed starter at the time, but when Jorginho got injured in the final, Cafu stepped up and played a crucial role in securing that victory. That was just the beginning of what would be an illustrious career for Brazil. Fast forward to 2002, and Cafu captained Brazil to yet another World Cup victory. He's the only player in history to have appeared in 3 consecutive World Cup finals, 1994, 1998, and 2002. And it wasn't just his presence on the field that made a difference. It was his leadership, his work ethic, and his constant driving runs down the right flank that set him apart. One of the most memorable moments in football for me was watching Cafu lift the World Cup in 2002. He stood on that podium, lifting the trophy high with 100% Jesus written on his shirt, and it was an emotional moment. Here's a guy who had achieved everything in the game, from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of football. You could see what it meant to him, not just for himself, but for his family and his country. His legacy goes beyond his athleticism. It's about his character, his determination, and his humility. This is a guy who always gave everything on the pitch and did it with a smile on his face. What truly set Cafu apart as a right-back was his ability to impact both sides of the game. In an era where defenders were primarily there to defend, Cafu was blazing down the right wing, whipping in crosses and creating chances like a winger. He wasn't just content with sitting back, he wanted to be involved in every phase of the game. It's no wonder he thrived at clubs like AS Roma and AC Milan, winning multiple domestic titles and a UEFA Champions League along the way. At Milan, Cafu formed part of one of the most iconic defenses in football history, alongside players like Paolo Maldini and Alessandro Nesta. That backline was rock solid, but Cafu added something extra. He was the engine that never stopped. Now, what's wild is that Cafu didn't just peak for a few seasons. He maintained this ridiculous level of performance well into his late 30s. His fitness was out of this world. Honestly, he could probably still lace up his boots today and put in a solid shift. The way he defied the typical decline that comes with age was nothing short of remarkable. Even in his final seasons at Milan, he was bombing up and down the pitch like a man 10 years younger. For me, this longevity is one of his greatest achievements. Staying relevant, and not just relevant but world-class for over 2 decades, that's something special. One of the interesting facts about Cafu is his commitment to giving back. After retiring, he founded the Cafu Foundation in São Paulo, which focuses on providing educational opportunities and support for underprivileged children. It's a testament to the man's character. He's not just a football icon, but a role model off the pitch as well. Someone who understands the responsibility that comes with fame and uses his platform for good. In my opinion, Cafu's impact on football is still being felt today. Every modern fullback who's asked to defend and attack, who's given the freedom to bomb forward and create chances, owes a debt to Cafu. He paved the way for players like Dani Alves, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and countless others. It's not an exaggeration to say that he changed the game.